Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm hoping so much that this mic is working. Let me check to see if the mic is working since I put it on late. I'm hoping that you had a great week this week. I know here in America we've got a lot going on, but it's still a blessed week, right? It's not a bad week. It's still a blessed week, and we thank God for this week. Today I am on here um, because I have some information that I really want to share with you. Let me see if this mic is working really quick.
Week.
Yep, it's working, y'all. It's working. So I'm so happy to be here this evening. And I shared earlier this week that I will be doing a live today and I'm going to talk about taxes. Okay, so I've got a presentation all set up and created for everyone to see, and I'm really hoping that this information is going to be beneficial for you. Okay, so we know today, actually, tax season started on Thursday. Tax season actually started on Thursday. Can y'all believe it? It's already the end of January, and it's the end of January, and we're going into February, the month of love and Black History Month. So I wanted and also today is Earned Income Tax Credit Awareness Day. So that is why I'm doing this live today, because of that. And what we're doing within the IRS, I'm not an IRS employee, so just know that. But what they're doing, what the IRS wants to do, is just make everyone aware that there is a tax credit for low and moderate income families, taxpayers in their families. So today is where is you'll probably see all over social media, and what they're doing is hashtag EITC. Um, what we're really doing is just bringing awareness to everyone so that you guys know that you can have take advantage of this credit if you qualify. So there are some qualifications that you and your tax professional should be talking with you about. So when you go to file your taxes, when you take your W-2 or all your tax forms to your tax professional, or make sure you mention the EITC, Earned Income Tax Credit. All right. So, what is the Earned Income Tax Credit? Let me share my screen because I have a presentation that I created really fast. So, everyone, please, please, please know that there probably are some edits there. I'm looking at an edit that I did not catch before I did this. Um, Downloaded it and saved it to my computer, but there are some errors on there. So I'm letting you guys know, don't come at my throat, because I got some grammatical errors, I got some spelling errors, or there's some mistakes in this. I literally just created this within the last hour, and I did not have time to look over and proofread it. So I just wanted to let you guys know, please don't come at my throat and cancel me because I got some errors on here. All right. I really just, my focus was getting this information out so that I want to be a source so that you can have all the information that you need so that you can save as much as you can during this tax season, especially if you're one of those taxpayers who owe. All right. So let me share my screen. Give me a sec. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Give me a moment. There we are. Okay, so this today I'm talking about it's titled Stop Leaving Money on the Table. So if you are not aware of this earned income tax credit, which is commonly referred to as EITC, listen, you are literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table. So, what I'm going to do is share with you how this is going to help you so that when you go to your tax professional, you will get the help that you need, and you can save yourself some money, right? Everybody wants more money, right? So, what we're going to talk about today is that I'm going to share with you what is an earned income tax credit, right? I'm going to let you know what that is. And I'm going to share with you who qualifies for it, what is it, or what is earned income and what is not earned income. I'm going to explain that to you. I'm going to explain to you what a qualifying child and or a qualifying relative is. Okay, I'm going to share with you how to claim this credit, and I'm also going to talk to you, let you know what's going to happen when you go to your tax professional, what's going to happen when you go to the desk, okay, of your tax professional. And I got a super duper surprise for you guys, so pay attention. I know this is some dry information. Nobody likes to talk about taxes. Nobody likes to talk about managing money. But I promise you, if you stay with me for the next 30 minutes, I promise you it's going to be information that you absolutely need and that you can use. So who qualifies for the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit? So first, I want to start with what is an Earned Income Tax Credit. Didn't create a slide for that, but I'm going to tell you what it is. An Earned Income Tax Credit is, or the EITC, is a credit for low and moderate income tax credit that helps workers and their families get a tax break. So if you qualify for the EITC, you can use it to reduce the amount of taxes that you owe every year, right? Or the amount of taxes that you may owe, or you can use it to increase your tax refund. All right. So in December 2023, about 23 million workers and families received about $57 billion in the EITC tax credit. All right. So there is money out there. The IRS wants to give you money. And with that, what a credit is that it's free money that the IRS is giving you. That's basically what it is, what the United States is giving you. So when you use our credit, that's free money for you. So with this tax credit, it's specifically for those of you who make less than, I don't know that I can't quote the exact number right now, but it is for you if you are low income or middle income. Okay. But actually, I can tell you it's different amounts, right? So your income can be in different amount categories depending on how many qualifying dependents you have, or qualifying relatives you have. It also depends on your filing status. So it's different amounts that will allow you to qualify for this credit. All right, so let's get to what the slide is saying. Who qualifies for the EITC? So one, if your income is considered low or moderate. So like I said, that depends on your number of dependents. If you have dependents, it depends on your gross income for the year, because there's a max. There's 4 or 5 different maxes for each filing status. So depending on what your income for the year of 2024 depends on how if you're going to qualify for the EITC. All right. So if you have, another thing is if you have qualifying children or relatives. So what is a qualifying child or dependent or relative? I will share with you what that is later in the presentation. All right. So also, if you are a U.S. citizen or resident alien within the 2024 tax year, the whole year, not part of the year, but the whole year. If your investment income is less than $11,600, you could qualify for the EITC. If you don't have a qualifying child, also your qualifying dependent or child or relative cannot be a qualifying child for another taxpayer. So say, for example, if you're a single parent, your child can qualify for your taxes. Like your child can qualify for your taxes, but he or she cannot be a qualifying dependent for the other taxpayer. So that would be something that you would have to discuss with your child's other parent. And there's a form for that stating that, hey, my child's mother or father can file taxes on my child because of X, Y, and Z. So there's a form for that. All right. Excuse me. So there is a link on the IRS website where you can further check more qualifications. But this information that I'm providing for you is just um, brief information just to get you aware of that there is free money out there and that you could qualify for it. All right. So I'm going to provide the link in the chat right now so that you can just, go ahead and check it out after you watch this video. So let me put it in the chat, in the comments. Give me a minute or a second. All right. There we go. It's in the comments for you. So check it out to see if you qualify for it. All right. Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm not sure if it's on there in the comments for you, but I will check to make sure that you have it after I finish this recording. All right. So I don't want to leave you guys out. All right. So that is that is the answer to this question, who qualifies. All right. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is earned income. Now, earned income is income that you've earned. All right. So that could be wages, salaries, or any type of income where where taxes were withheld. All right. Another type of income, is income, like I said, from your job where your employer withheld taxes. So where your employer did not withhold taxes. So say, for example, if you are a driver for Lyft, you're an Uber driver, or you are an Amazon delivery driver, you are considered a 1099 employee, which makes you an independent contractor. So they are not withholding taxes from you. That is your responsibility. So if you are a Lyft driver and you receive your 1099 from Lyft, and that is considered earned income because you earned that income. Another form of earned income is any income that you've made under the table, any income that you, for example, like on-demand income. So someone called you up, hey, can you clean my house real quick, and I'll pay you $100 to do that. That's earned income that you've made. So, and it could be under the table income. So any income that you've done as that's considered freelance work. So if someone calls you to clean their home, and they were going to pay you, that's freelance work or on-demand work, and you got paid for it. So that is earned income because that is work that you did to earn the income. Any sale of any goods online. So if you are selling goods on EITC, that is earned income, and that is considered earned income. All right. Another thing is if you've provided any kind of creative or professional services, such as if you were a consultant for, let's say you're a consultant for some company, they asked you to come in, that is, or someone asked you to create a website. That is creative work, that's professional services. So, and you got an income for it, that is considered earned income. So earned income is basically anything that you've worked for. Self-employment income, like I said, with such as you driving for Lyft, Uber, that's you are considered self-employed. 1099, that is income. Income from your business, that is income. All right. So there are different schedules, different, all that kind of stuff. It gets a little deep, but that is considered earned income. Benefits that you've received during a union strike. There was a strike last year with the ports, right? You guys went on strike, and if you received any benefits from that strike, right? Assistance with, your rent or something like that. Any benefits that you received from your union, that is considered earned income. Okay. Another type is certain disability benefits. So say, for example, if you withdrew from your retirement plan at work, and you're below the minimum age requirement to withdraw from your retirement account, which is 59 and a half, that is considered earned income. Okay. And you'll be taxed on that. All right. Non-taxable combat pay, that is also considered earned income. All right. So what is not earned income? Earned not Things that are not earned income are pay received while you were an inmate. So let's say you went to jail for about 6 months last year in 2024, and you received some income from doing things like cleaning the roads. You received a little bit of money. That is not earned income. Okay. Interest and dividends, right? That's not earned income because that's not money that you receive from providing a service. Okay. Pension and annuities. Annuities is an insurance. That is not considered earned income. Insurance money. Pension, not earned income. Social Security, not earned income. Unemployment compensation benefits, compensations, that is not earned income. However, Social Security, you got to file. Unemployment benefits, you got to file. Alimony is not earned income. However, you do have to file for taxes for alimony payments. Child support, you don't you don't get to file. Child support is not earned income, and you don't have to file on child support. Okay. And those of you who are making the payments of child support, you don't get to file on that as well. All right. So then another thing that you could be considered to be to qualify for the EITC is if you have qualifying dependents or child or are qualifying relatives. So this screen, let me go back to it. I'm sorry. This screen describes what those two things are. So a qualifying child can be a child, a stepchild, a foster child, a sibling or a half sibling, a step sibling, or a descendant of any of those qualifying children or a child. All right. So if your child had a child, if for some reason your child is not able to take care of your grandchild, but you are, as a taxpayer, are taking care of that grandchild, that child is considered a qualifying child. Anyone under the age of 19 by the end of 2024, they are a qualifying child. So your child is considered a qualifying child if they are under the age of 19 years old. And your child, if you have children that are under the age of 24, they are also a qualifying child. But guess what? They have to be a full-time student and younger than you. Okay. So if you have a brother that you're taking care of, and you are taking care of your brother. Your brother is 21 and in college, but you're taking your brother who's in college. You as a taxpayer are 20, and your older brother is living with you. They are not a qualifying child. Okay. Permanently or totally disabled. So if your child, no matter what age that child is, if your child or the qualifying child is permanently or totally disabled, and you provide all of you take care of them 100%, they depend on you to take care of them financially, then not 100%, but over 50%, then they are a qualifying child. So say, for example, your child is 30 years old, completely dependent. Now there are some limitations with all of these for when it comes to income, but they are considered a qualifying child. And then once we start talking about did they make any income, then there are some limitations there too. The qualifying child has to have been living with you all year round. All year round. So they couldn't live with grandma for 8 months, and then at the end of the year, suddenly you're taking care of them as the taxpayer payer. You cannot they are not considered a qualifying child, and you won't be able to get all kinds of credits that are available to you. And the last thing is, they did not provide more than half of their support for the year. So that's when I was talking about if you had a 30-year-old son who's totally or permanently disabled, and you were taking care of them and you've provided support for them for more than half of the year, then they are qualified children. Okay. So let's talk about qualifying relatives. A qualifying relative can't be a qualifying child. You can't double dip, right? You can't claim them as a qualifying child and then on something else they don't qualify. They're a qualifying relative in something else. That's not how this works. You can't. They're not a qualifying child for another person, another taxpayer. They isn't a qualifying relative if the child's parents isn't required to pay income taxes. What am I saying there? If the child is the child's parents, like let's say for example, you have a child and you did not make enough income by the end of 2024 year, so you don't, there is a certain amount, so the amount is like I think it's about $5,000. I gotta look into that really quick. I'll look into it for you right now. No, I just want this video to be about 30 minutes. Let's say for example, you did not make enough money at the end of the 2024. You are not required to file taxes, right? So this person, let's say a relative, a cousin is staying with you, they are not considered a qualifying relative because you don't have to file taxes. So you can't receive any kind of credits or deductions because you don't have to file taxes, and so they're not a qualifying relative. All right. If you file taxes in order to get a refund of income tax withheld, they are not qualified relative. The qualifying relative must be related to you, right? Not your spouse. You can't consider your spouse a qualifying relative. That's off the table. So if you work and your spouse doesn't work, there's no qualifying relative there, right? Okay. So a qualifying relative, they don't have to live with you, but you provide more than half of their support throughout the year. So say for example, you take care of your mother, but she still lives in her house, but she depends on you to help her pay for more than half of her living expenses, her support. So you're buying her food, paying the utility bills, paying, taking her to the doctors, and she depends on you for all these things, and it's more than half of her living expenses. She qualifies as a qualifying relative. Okay. You're qualifying, like I said earlier, your qualifying relative cannot make more than $5,050 per year. So I said the wrong amount. So the amount that I said earlier about limitations on how much income you can make, where you don't have to file taxes, is $9,000, I think $600, and I will try to research that when I get off to make sure. $9,600 where you don't have to file taxes. Back to what I was saying before. So your qualifying relative, if they have income, let's say your mother has income, retirement income, but her income she just has Social Security or Medicare, not Medicare, I'm sorry. So let's just say Social Security. Their gross income, her gross income is less than $5,050. So let's say she just has $3,600 as her income. Therefore, she can file or not file. She can qualify as a relative, as a qualifying relative. Okay. So that's what a qualifying child and a qualifying relative is. Again, if you use the link that I placed in the comments, Facebook, LinkedIn, I'll share that link with you after the live. But if you want to know more information about qualifying child and qualifying relative, use the link that I will be providing for you. Okay. Next, I want to talk to you about how to claim this credit, right? The EITC credit. You claim the EITC credit by filing these two forms, a 1040 or a 1040 SR. Two, if you're claiming I want you to know something very, very important. I'll get to that in a minute. If claiming a qualifying child, right, use Schedule EIC, that's the Earned Income Credit. All right. So there are different schedules that we use to when we file a tax. All right. So make sure that your tax professional is using a Schedule EIC, Earned Income Credit. All right. You can file if you did not receive the Earned Income Credit in the last 3 years. You can file those for those credits. So in 2023, if you didn't receive the EITC, you can file a return, your tax return, by April 18th, 2027. So if you didn't receive it for 2022, you can file up to April 18th, 2026 to receive that credit. So, but if you didn't receive it in 2021, so check your tax forms for these years to see if you received them. You have up until April 18th, 2025, okay, to receive those tax credit. Again, I'm going to repeat those again. You have up to 3 years to file for this credit, to receive this credit. If you did not file in 2023, 2022, 2021. So if you didn't file in 2020, file for the EITC in 2021, you have until April 18th this year, 2025, to receive that credit. 2022, you have until April 18th, 2026 to receive that credit. And for 2023, you have until April 18th, 2027. So if you don't receive it this year, if you don't get it this year, you have until April 18th, 2028 to receive that credit. All right. So you can backlog and you can receive what you did not receive in those last 2 years. Okay. This is really good information. And I really hope that you take advantage of what is out there. All right. And what is out there for you guys so that you can receive as much as you can, as much help as you can. The times are hard. The last 5 years have been really hard financially for consumers, United citizens, and taxpayers. So I really want you guys to know that there is stuff out there for you to help you get a greater advantage. Okay. So that is why I'm sharing this, not only because today is EITC Awareness Day, but also I just want everybody to know what is out there for them, for you. Okay. So next is credit you may also qualify for. So if you are qualified for the EITC, right? If you qualify for the EITC, you may be able to get qualified for other credits. So if you got a qualifying child, you can get the child tax credit if you have a qualifying child. So what was a qualifying child? A qualifying child, let me go back. A qualifying child is a stepchild, foster child, sibling, half sibling, step sibling, or a descendant of any of them. All right. What's the qualifying child? A qualifying child is under age 18 and has lived with you the entire year. Okay. What's a qualifying child? A qualifying child is under the age of 24 and was a full-time student and also younger than you. Okay. What's a qualifying child? A qualifying child is permanently or totally disabled and lived with you the entire year of 2024. What's a qualifying child? A qualifying child did not provide more than half of their support for the year. So you took care of them for most of the year. All right. So if you have a qualifying child, guess what? You can get the child tax credit, which you could give you a few $1,000s added to your tax return. Few thousand, either way, or reduce your tax liability greatly. All right. Child independent care credit. What is that? If you have children, young small children, and you're paying for daycare or summer camp, did you pay for summer camp for your child? Or children, guess what? There's a credit for you to reduce your tax, how much you owe in your taxes, or how much give you increase your tax refund. If you take care of your parent, right, and you had to send them to adult daycare or a senior center, and you pay for it, that is dependent care. If you pay for a companion, that is dependent care, a credit for you to reduce your tax obligation or increase your refund. Okay. Hey, everybody, don't leave this money on the table. I want you to take advantage of what you can take advantage of. Education credit. There's an education credit. Now there are limitations. So room and board is not considered is not a qualifying expense. Parking passes are not a qualifying expense. Food is not a qualifying expense. So, but what is a qualifying expense? So you can take advantage of the education credit, books, supplies, equipment that is needed for the class. It has to be needed for the class. Those are qualifying expenses. Okay. Clothes is not a qualifying expense for education credit. All right. So make sure you do your due diligence before you hit that tax desk. Right before you go to H&R Block, before you go to your friend, if they don't know anything about these tax credits, you shouldn't go to them, because you want to make sure you're going to somebody that knows what's going on. Tax law changes every month. I got to take a CEU. So tax law credits are changing often, and I want you to be able to take advantage to see what you can obtain so that you can reduce your tax liability. Okay. All right. So what happens when you go to the tax desk? Before I hit that, I didn't make a slide for this. So, but what happens when you go to the tax desk? This is what happens. They're going to ask you for your identification, your driver's license, state ID, proof of identity. All right. And you got to have your social security card. I remember last year I was taking care of a client, trying to work with a client, and they wanted their taxes done. And the spouse, well, not the spouse, the taxpayer, he would not provide me a social security card. I don't know why, but I said I can't move forward. I couldn't move forward with it because he had to provide proof that his social security card, he has a social security card. I could not provide proof. So please make sure you have your social security card when you go and get your taxes done by a professional. If they're not requiring that, I will be running out the doors, because fraud is a multi-trillion-dollar crime out here, and people are getting taken advantage of and owing millions of dollars because they've racked up so much credit, using, not because they've stolen your identity. All right. So your tax professional is going to ask you for proof of not proof of insurance, but proof of identification and your social security card. Okay. Two, they're going to ask you some questions, because we don't want to get in trouble with the IRS because we filed, got you the EITC and you didn't qualify for it. So I'm not going to do that. My volunteers are not going to do that, and I'm not going to let you get in any trouble as well and have to owe that money back. So they're going to ask you some questions about how much was your income, and they're going to look in their materials, and they're going to see, okay, well, this is what, okay, they're under this limit, okay, let's move forward. How they're going to ask you if you're a citizen. That's one of the questions that they have to ask you. They're going to ask you if you have any dependents, and if you do have dependents, how many, right? What's their age? How old are they? Did they live with you all year? What is your filing status? Are you going to file single or head of household? Or you file if you're married but you want to file separate? Okay, let's talk about that. How much so that I can see how much you qualify for if you meet the income limitations, and how much you may qualify for. All right, they're going to ask you some questions, so don't get testy with them if they're asking you all these questions. Hey, guess what? I'm not going to get in trouble for you because you want to get all this money. All right. We're not working in greed this year, right? We're not working in greed this year. We're working in we're working on being reliable, and honest, right? So I'm going to ask you these questions, and so is your tax professional should be asking you these questions. Otherwise, guess what? If they come back and they review the tax return, and they come back and ask you, hey, you got the EITC, but where's the dependents? You've got the EITC to prove your citizenship. You got this amount of money, but let's prove your gross income. I'm not going to be fined, and I don't want you to get fined either. All right. So, and also, they're going to ask you about if you have any investments. All right. So if you have investments and there are less than $11,600, you don't qualify for it. So if someone qualifies you for the EITC and you have investment income, guess what? And it's more than $11,600. You don't qualify for it. All right. And we're going to check to make sure that your dependents are a qualifying child or relative. That those matter. All right. So if you qualify for the EITC, I've already shared that with you. You could get the child tax credit. You could get the credit for um, other dependents. You could get the child dependent credit, and you could get the education credit. So if you qualify for the EITC. So, special service that I have for you. All right. I'm not taking any more paying. I'm not taking any new paying clients for 2024 tax season. All right. I'm not. However, this is why I'm not taking any. I'm not taking any because this year I have partnered with the IRS so that I can provide free tax preparation services for low income, for taxpayers who make low income or moderate income taxpayers. So if you make less than $64,000, that is one of the biggest qualifications to be able to receive tax preparation service for free through the IRS. So if you make less than $64,000 last year in gross, you may qualify to receive earned free tax preparation service through their VITA program. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me share with you um, the flyer because it has more details on it. All right. Give me a sec. So here we have it. Excuse me. A little slow. speaking German and Russian, but I no longer do this year. But I do. There's still a young lady who speaks Spanish, and we're serving not only the state of Delaware, but also the state of New Jersey. I'm able to do that because my site is completely virtual. All right. So if you make less than $6,000, $64,000 in 2024, you could qualify to receive free tax preparation services. Basic tax preparation, ladies and gentlemen. None of that rental income stuff. Basic tax preparation services, ladies and gentlemen. You could get free tax preparation services. Why did I want to do this? Because guess what? When the last time my husband and I, it was the first year that we filed our taxes together, and we went to H&R Block. My husband's was going to this woman. She's really nice and really knowledgeable. She's really good. However, that H&R Block service, y'all, it cost us like $500, $600 to get our taxes done with H&R Block. And I'm sorry, I said, babe, we can't do this anymore. And I started finding other ways to get my taxes taken care of. Now, she was an accountant, and I absolutely loved working with her as an accountant. But that $500, that was 10 years ago. That $500 hit our pockets. I was like, ouch, So back then we couldn't afford that, right? So I don't even know if this service was out there, guys. I don't know if the service was out there back 10 years ago, but I know that it's here now, right? I know that I found out about it while I was in college, looking for an internship. And I went to the IRS website, and I was like, oh, and I wanted the experience, but at the time I didn't have the time to provide it. So I'm really excited about this because I just love helping people. And any way that I can use my skills and my talents to, one, glorify God and be a service to others, man, I mean, I just had to jump on it. Now, I'm a site coordinator. Like I said, it's literally all virtual. So we use the IRS software. And I know you might be saying, why would I want to do something like that? Listen, guess what? Your tax stuff is going to the IRS anyway. They're going to see it anyway. Why not have it taken care of by someone who is qualified, who is an expert, and who loves this kind of work, and get your taxes done by a professional, not, someone that that just does taxes, but someone who knows the tax laws and is going to give you the best advice that's going to help you build generational wealth. You may not have considered the idea that taxes could help you create generational wealth. Of course, because there's credits, there's deductions. You just got to talk to somebody that is knowledgeable and that's going to help you do just that. And that's why I signed up to be a site coordinator to provide tax preparation service for people like yourself. Because I was that person who did not want to pay those high prices, but I also was when I had my friend do my taxes for a couple of times, I was like, these laws and rules change often, and she's not into, this kind of stuff. I wonder if I'm missing out on some things, or I'm not doing, or I'm getting credits for stuff that I don't even qualify for. We got to make sure that the right information, you're getting the right information and the correct service. All right. So everyone, that basically concludes to this presentation. I'm hoping that you would take the information that I've provided to you guys today and will take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Do what you have to do so that you can receive the tax breaks that you that you need, because we're living in some hard times, and times are going to get harder. Times are going to get harder. So that concludes this evening's presentation. I hope that you enjoyed it and was able to sit through it. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Look for me on Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do plan to be here for you guys with Good News Live. All right. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening.